What is going on, Angelo family? In today's video, we're going to go over the 3 easy steps to set up your business. Those guys that are curious, I am a UCLA MBA, as well as I've worked in program manager roles at Meta, Google, and Airbnb as well. So I've kind of have experiences with setting up businesses, and I have set up my own YouTube channel and my own business as well. So I've learned a lot these past few months, setting up an LLC, starting a YouTube channel, doing consulting. And I just want to go over the 3 easy steps that I did in order to set up a business. So hopefully this video helps you guys when it comes to setting up your business and you won't have to struggle like I did trying to figure everything out and not knowing what you need to do. This video, hopefully it'll break it down for you, right? So I got my buddy here, ChatGPT, to help kind of like expand on any of my kind of thoughts I may have on things, as well as I want to kind of go off the rip and just tell you what I needed to start a business, how to start everything kind of going forward, right? And this really applies to you if you're trying to, you're making money from your business, you need a way to take in the income, you need to set up the infrastructure or everything. I've set up infrastructure for Google data centers, as well as kind of like crazy things for tech. So set up a business for your YouTube channel, for your consulting business, will be a little bit more straightforward and simple, but I do want to go over how I did it, how you can do it too in these 3 easy steps, so that way you're not struggling like I did, and you're not kind of freaking out like, oh man, how do I do this? What am I going? Like, cause I really honestly got super confused when I did everything. Okay. So let's just dive in. So first step, hardware, things you need, right? If you have a phone, you probably need a phone just to like, kind of do 2-factor authentication for everything. But you also need a laptop, right? You can get a used MacBook, a used PC, whatever it may be, but you will need some hardware, which is usually a phone as well as a laptop, right? So it's that's straightforward. Let's just assume you have that, okay? So once you have all of these, the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to set up an LLC. So limited liability corporation, S corp, whatever it may be. You can set that up through LegalZoom and LegalZoom.com, and I'll have a link below for that as well down below. But LegalZoom is important for you to set up your business. And let me just type in that question, ChatGPT. Why is it important to use LegalZoom to set up your business? So to set up your business, you don't make this mistake where you have a business and you're making money and then you just take in all the money to your personal account, right? That is not what you're supposed to do, because when you do that, you don't allow yourself to have like a ton of write-offs, as well as you start to confuse your personal account with what you bought for your business compared to what you bought for yourself. So it makes it really tricky, right? And you can kind of get in a lot of trouble during tax season when you're like, I'm trying to write this off, but I thought it was for my business and it's really for me. So just know that you need to kind of set up a business so you're not mixing everything with your own personal stuff. So in order to set up a business, you're going to get an EIN, which is employee identification number, and that just shows that you have a legal business within like the United States. So to do that, you're gonna go to LegalZoom.com, and it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, and you're gonna set up an LLC or S corporation. So consult with your kind of accountant on which one's best for you, but you're gonna just set up a LLC through LegalZoom.com, and they make it super easy for you. So for those of you guys are curious, so why should you start an LLC or S corp? Let me just ask ChatGPT. Should you start an LLC or S corp? Let's see. But essentially, you need to set this up so that way you can have an actual business where you're not taking home your income just through your personal account. So for me, I start an LLC. Consult with your accountant, which is better, why you need that. So just kind of keep that in mind. So for LegalZoom, it's pretty straightforward. I think I pay around like $300 to set everything up for me. And the reason you do this too is because for an LLC, you get liability protection. So say if your business ever gets sued, or if you ever get sued, they won't sue you, they'll sue your business, and they can go over all the assets within the business, but they can't go over any of your personal assets associated with you, right? Also, you get some tax savings from self-employment. So you need to kind of consider that for your LLC or S corp. S corp, you can reduce self-employment taxes by taking part of your income as salary, and you probably need to go over that with your accountant or someone of that nature to make sure you're good to go on your S corp or your LLC. So set up your S corp and LLC through LegalZoom. If you don't have a personal if you don't have actual office for your business, you can actually get a virtual office through LegalZoom. They'll help you set up one. It's really easy, and then that way you don't have to struggle about, oh, how am I going to do XYZ? So set up a personal or a virtual office through LegalZoom, and then you get the documentation, everything of that nature, just through your S corp and your LLC through LegalZoom.com, right? So that is how you set everything up. Basically, you need this to make sure you can actually take money from your business. Don't take money into your personal account, right? It muffles everything through taxes. It makes it a lot harder for everything. So set up a business so you can take in the money and do everything the right way, and you can pay your taxes for your state, wherever you're located. Okay, that is the first step. Set up an S corp or LLC through LegalZoom.com. After you do that, the next step is you need to set up a business bank account. What is a business bank account? So a business bank account is essentially the same thing as your personal bank account for your checking, your savings, but it's for your business. This is how you take in your money. So business bank accounts are pretty straightforward. What you really just need to do is that you need to go to a bank like a Chase, Wells Fargo, BMO, whatever bank you use, and tell them, hey, I just started an LLC or S corporation. I want to open a business bank account. What they're going to need from you, they're going to just need your employee identification number. So your EIN that you set up for your business via LegalZoom, and that's going to be all in the documentation you have through LegalZoom. And then you're going to bring that. You're going to need to bring your ID. You're going to bring the address of your business to that bank, and the bank is essentially going to set up a checking or savings account for you, right? And what I do is that I set up a checking and savings account for the business, and then also you set up a credit card. The reason I set up a credit card is because I want to make sure that all of my expenses and my purchases for the business are on separate accounts. You do not want to use your personal account for your business stuff, right? Because it makes it really complicated during tax season. So you use your personal checking account, keep that separate from your business account. So you go to like a Chase, whatever it may be, whatever bank you want to bank with, and have it set up a credit card as well as a business checking and business savings account. This will make it a lot easier for you to just make sure that you have all the stuff you need for your business. The cool thing about the credit card is that you can use a line of credit to purchase whatever you need. If you're setting up a YouTube channel and you're just kind of talking a lot, or you set up a consulting business where the overhead really is just your time, it makes it a lot easier. You don't need a massive line of credit to kind of build your business. For me, I like using kind of Chase or a bank that has points, because you can end up using those points to book flights, book trips, book hotels, whatever it may be you need for your business. So if you have a business and you're like, okay, I need to travel to XYZ place for this meeting, or to film content, or to meet with a client, you can book that through your business account, use that as a write-off, because that's going to be your expense to get to wherever you need to go for your business. And then you're able to just have yourself separate all your expenses from that account. So open a business bank account, and that through Chase, Wells Fargo, whatever bank you use for your personal stuff, right? Makes it so much easier. The reason I say this is because when I first started working and taking in 1099 income, I didn't have separate accounts. So it was very, very hard for me to separate my expenses from what I actually made for the business. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing to separate it. And my accountant's like, buddy, tough luck, we can't help you here. So I'm like, all right, well, I need to separate everything. So I learned from my mistakes, and I set up a business bank account after creating an LLC through my business. That way I can make sure everything is all separate. And then I had a credit card, so all my purchases for the business are all done through that specific credit card, and I won't need to worry about, okay, credit cards here, or did I spend this for my business? Did I spend this for myself? Is this my payment? What do I do? Nah, things of that nature. So you need to keep that in mind whenever you have a business. It's much easier to have separate accounts for everything, and make sure that you can basically store everything in its own proper way. Okay. So, that is like the biggest advice I have for you guys when it comes to everything of that nature. Okay. So we're all good to go. First thing you gotta do is you're gonna set up an LLC, EIN, through LegalZoom. After that, you're gonna go set up a business bank account, through your certain bank. You're gonna take the documentation you have for that to, your bank, whatever it may be, and you set that up through to like your whatever bank you may have. Third step is you're going to need to work on the infrastructure when it comes to the accounting, when it comes to taxes and things of that nature. So for those of you guys who are curious, if you have a business in America, you need to pay taxes on a quarterly basis, and you probably need to hire a good accountant, right? So you can either go to your local accounting firm or someone you know who does businesses, account books for small businesses, or you can go to a software that you use, right? If you have someone you really like working with, they charge you a solid amount and you're okay with that, then go to your accountant. Have them file your paperwork, your books, whatever that may be for that certain quarter, for end of year, because it's a lot different. End of year for your, usually for a person, like a normal W-2 job, you work, like a 9 to 5, and then you have to basically pay your tax at the end of the year around April-ish or May. For a business, you pay on a quarterly basis. This is because you need to pay for your stuff, like on a quarter, like, so 4 times a year. So, it may suck, like, oh man, I'm paying 4 times a year, but essentially it's like a lower bill at in April, because you're like thinking, all right, everything's all dispersed out through 4 payments. So you need to do that. And the way you do that is you pay it through IRS, you pay it with the California board. That's how you pay your taxes, or you file the forms. Or you go to your accountant and they do all the filing for you, then determine how much you need to pay, right? This is pretty solid. For you who are just starting out and you're like, well, I don't want to pay an accountant like a full salary. I don't want to pay an accountant a lot of money doing my tax for you. I'm not really making money for my business. How can I do this? You go to Intuit QuickBooks. QuickBooks is like a pretty straightforward software. I think it's $30 to use the software, and then another $35, so $65 a month, entry fee, to make sure that they do all your filings for you for all your taxes that are associated with your LLC, your S Corp, or your business. So make sure you use Intuit QuickBooks. It's great for small businesses. The cool thing about Intuit QuickBooks too is that you can also write off how many miles you've driven in your car, like all your expenses associated with your business. They make it really easy for you to write that off for your business. So look at Intuit QuickBooks, and use that to set up your tax write-offs, your payments for your LLC, filing your forms, because there's a lot of random things you don't know you need to pay, and you need an accountant to make sure you're actually paying that, so you're in compliance with the IRS, you're in compliance with the government, so you're good to go, and you're not, you gotta pay your taxes. Like, America's amazing. You can make a lot of money, but you also need to realize you gotta pay your taxes. So pay it through your, make the burden of everything so much easier by setting up a software for your payments, for your accounting, right? I hung out with like a lot of big YouTubers the other day, and they're all telling me like, yeah, when I started YouTube, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't making money. I was making money, but I didn't know how to make sure I pay my taxes and I pay myself. So I just used a payroll software. So use a payroll software like Intuit QuickBooks. It makes everything a lot easier for you. Trust me, don't make the same mistake where I'm just like willy-nilly trying to figure it out, and then tax season comes and you owe a ton of money. So those are the 3 things you need. Number 1, you guys set up your business through the LLC or S Corp, through your LegalZoom account. Number 2, you need to work with a bank to set up your EIN, to set up your business bank account. You have a credit card and business checking account, so that way you can take in money from whoever pays you through invoices, as well as you have a credit card or even a debit card that you use to pay for everything associated with your business. And number 3, you need to make sure you're compliant with IRS, with taxes, with filing everything, and you do that through Intuit QuickBooks. I know this is a lot right now. You're like, oh man, I do all this to start a business, but as soon as you get used to it, you're like, okay, I did this, so I'm in compliance. This I make money. This I start my business, and you will be so much happier that you did everything the right way. So that way, when everything comes back, you're not like, oh man, I messed up. I gotta do it all over again. So trust me, I hope that helps you guys so much with your starting your business. Okay, yeah, I'll see you guys in a quick second, and we're gonna go over some business advice and tips I may have for you guys on how to actually generate some income.